afternoon on Wednesday or Thursday, September 21st, and I'm about to watch Batman the Animated Series again. And this episode is the Underdwellers, which admittedly is not a favorite episode of mine to watch because not even necessarily because it's a bad episode or anything. There's things I like about it, but just the subject matter of it is something I don't find particularly enjoyable. But we're gonna go ahead and watch it. We're gonna power through it, and we'll talk a little bit about it as we watch it. All right, so let's go ahead and get it started. I've got it queued up on my HBO Max, and you can watch along with your DVD or Blu-ray. Got the Warner Brothers Shield right there, or whatever format that you digitally watch this on. If you bought or rented copies from, say, YouTube or Amazon or something like that. So especially early on, we had a lot of episodes of Batman that didn't feature, the traditional supervillains from the comics. I've discussed this before. Sometimes it's like, that kind of 1940s gangsters, which I think that works really well against Batman. And sometimes it's just like, their own attempts to make kind of one-shot villains. And this is one of those. This guy's a real creep. Even as far as like a Batman villain goes, I think even the Joker would look at him and be like, "Dude, what is wrong with you?" Ugh. The Underdwellers. Sewer grate shining light down on a mysterious hooded figure. This one's directed by Frank Power. I think Tom Ruger wrote it. I missed it. But here we got some kids riding on top of the subway train. They definitely have an anime sort of look about them. These guys could probably be like hanging out in Akira, and they fit right in. And Batman sees this and does not approve. That guy's so scared of Batman, he jumped off the train. Batman was kind of counterproductive there, I guess, since he wouldn't have wanted actually the kid to jump. This kid got stuck, but Batman saves him. Now, in another superhero show, we might have expected him to give some kind of speech or something to these kids, but in this case, he just kind of gives them that little terse one-liner. So I like that. And again, it's another example of Batman making a joke. His sense of humor is rather dry, but he does have a sense of humor. And this little kid running around in a green cape. Oh, my stars and garters! A thief in Gotham City!
I'm telling you, it was a leprechaun.
Really, man? You expect me to believe you saw a little green man?
Oh. It almost looked like she had little bat symbols in her eyes when she was about to hit Batman with that car. The animation's a little bit stiff right there. But they can't all be winners.
Leprechauns and Batman. What's Gotham come to?
Leprechauns. Always love these establishing shots of the Batcave with the bats flying overhead. It's kind of cool to see Batman working with his utility belt. You don't see that very often.
In what sense
And I like casual Bruce and the wife beater and the khaki pants.
Did he have a pot of gold? Sir, I believe you saw something. Maybe I need a rest.
Yeah.
I do believe a break from Wayne Enterprises.
I do really like the characterization of Batman, especially in these early episodes. They try to make him a bit darker by the time you get to the new Batman adventures, but I like him here where he seems a little more humanized.
You have a fine
It's that good Bronze Age Batman that I like so much. Keys clacking.
Yes. I think it's time for an encore.
Yeah. Kevin Conroy was a theater guy. Mostly did stage acting before he started his voice acting career. I'm sure he did probably mostly stage acting afterwards too, but you know, it's good to have Batman as something solid to fall back on. He's always going to be remembered as the greatest Batman, I think. This version of Batman, not just Kevin Conroy's performance, but this version of Batman is one that I would consider to be one of the greatest versions of the character. If somebody said, this is the greatest version of Batman that exists, as far as the character goes, I would not argue with that. And I can only think of a few others that might rival it. Obviously, you have the Bronze Age, like Neil Adams, Denny O'Neil, like that era of Batman, the Steve Englehart, Marshall Rogers stuff. You know, some people might put forward an argument for even the Golden Age version of Batman. Specifically, I would go with Bill Finger, obviously, is the writer, since he wrote most of those anyway, and Dick Sprang was my personal favorite Golden Age Batman artist. Then, you know, a lot of people are big fans of the Silver Age stuff, you know, with writers like Gardner Fox and John Broome working with guys like, you know, Carmine Infantino and all those. And there's some great stuff there. I really like the later period New Look stuff, like right before Neil Adams took over. I really like that era of Batman. I think that's one that doesn't get a lot of love, and not as much as it does. That's where Irv Novick got his start, and he's my favorite Batman artist of that era. So he's actually my favorite New Look Batman artist overall. I even like his stuff better than Carmine Infantino's. This guy.
Children are to be seen and not heard.
This kid with the flat top looks a lot like Jaws from the Burger King Kids Club, if you remember that.
Someone was talking. You.
Seems like it'd be a difficult hairstyle to maintain while you're living in a sewer with this crazy guy in a pirate outfit.
I think he needs to see the light. Yeah.
And he basically just keeps all these kids as like slaves.
Flowers in the light.
Ugh.
Jack, a bright boy. And now,
The animation is really good in this scene, though.
bring back treats. Lots and lots of goodies for your
As horrible as, look at that kid got one tooth. Oh my god. As horrible as this subject matter is, and as uncomfortable as it makes me, I'm not gonna lie, they did a good job with it. Like, it's well animated, and it's like this guy being such a creep and so loathsome. I mean, like, obviously he's supposed to be a character that you hate, but it's not a bug, it's a feature. I understand that, but it's still, he's somebody that just makes my flesh crawl. And, you know, I know that was the intention because that's Batman's own reaction when he finally meets up. I don't even remember this character's name. I don't know if I want to remember this character's name. The lighting was really good on Batman's face there, by the way. The Sewer King. Okay. I think the Penguin might have something to say about that. He still lived in the sewers in this animated version, like he did in Batman Returns. And the music is really good here, too. Batman investigating the mystery, trying to figure out what was really the deal with the so-called leprechaun. And it's just a little kid. I'm guessing a little boy. I think they present this character as a little boy, but it could very well be a girl. It just has short hair and raggedy clothes. I kind of think that might add a little more tragedy to it.
Just a second, son. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Uh-oh. Gotta have a little bit of suspense for that commercial break. But you know Batman's gonna save the kid. I spent all day lifting fat guys. I can lift a little kid. Ha! That's neat. He's got it disguised in the dumpster. What kid would not be excited to ride in the Batmobile? Even if I don't even know if he knows who Batman is at this point, because he's been forced to live in the sewer for so long. And Batman lulls the kid into a deep slumber. And then we have our Fleischer cave entrance again. You gotta wonder how Batman had all this stuff built. It doesn't seem like the kind of thing where like him and Alfred could just do it by themselves. But I suppose there's all kinds of ways that a man like Bruce Wayne can just present himself as being an eccentric and buy people off so they don't tell people about his little underground fallout shelter. Yeah, that's what it is. It's probably some kind of dungeon he doesn't want us to talk about, if you know what I mean. That's what they think. Huh. And this kid just can't stand the light because he's been underground for so long.
I hope you don't expect me to guess it. Fred?
He's just so traumatized. He even away from the sewer king, he doesn't want to talk.
You'll feel much better when you're clean.
I kind of feel like Alfred, much like any parent that has grown children, kind of once again relishes the idea of taking care of a small child temporarily. He wouldn't want to do it long term, but you know he's thinking about, like, you know, Bruce, you know, being like a mischievous little rascal back during happier times. And he's all even at the time when Frog. He calls that kid Frog. Ugh. Anyway. But yeah, I would imagine even back before the time when his parents were killed, like, Alfred probably was like a second father to Bruce. You know.
Would you rather I sent you back into the light? Back to those who hurt you and sent you away?
This guy just disgusts him. He's got like this feet. He's eating a whole turkey, and these kids live off of like whatever scraps he gives them. Ugh.
Now, let's start with some basic table manners. Knife, fork, spoon.
Huh. He just steals the silverware. It's all he knows how to do.
I washed you dry. Now then, doesn't it
The stuff with Alfred and the kid is good. I like the stuff with Alfred and the kid. I'm not going to call him Frog.
Charming.
That boy's got a real name, whether he knows it or not. And he deserves to have a real human name. He's watching it on the monitor.
I wonder if I was that much trouble.
Oh, you were probably worse. Well, all kinds of old firearms and pirate pistols and blunderbuss.
Oh dear, that is extremely dangerous.
You can't tell me you keep that loaded,
Down before you hurt someone.
but it's still good to teach a kid proper
Do not
firearm safety.
ever
Nope, absolutely not.
loaded it. But it could have been. I need your help.
Yeah. That's a good message for the kids. Is like you're never too young to learn proper firearm safety. Because even if you grow up in a house without any guns, you know, a kid might find a gun somehow, and he needs to understand that that gun is a dangerous thing, and it's something he don't even need to touch. My dad, you know, he's a big gun guy. He's got a lot of guns. And he made sure we knew never to touch them. They're not toys. He used to get on us about, like, when we play with toy guns, don't even point the toy guns at somebody unless you're planning on using it. My dad was always really good and responsible with that kind of thing. Even when I'm not around, they don't. Oh, Batman's about to bring this down. Destroys it. Just destroys it.
I don't know what kind of barbarian did this to you, but it's over. And from now on, you'll be treated like human beings.
I think we'll have something to say about that.
Oh, you're about to get your butt kicked.
Welcome, our guests.
These look like alligators to me because they've got like the shorter, more blunted snouts. So I'm pretty sure those are gators. It's possible whoever designed these characters didn't really even put any thought into it as to whether they were crocodiles or alligators, but to me they look more like gators. Batman's been lifting fat guys all day. He can pry open a crocodile's mouth, alligator's mouth, whatever.
Show you who's the ruler of this kingdom.
Put him down. Now!
It's feeding.
Batman always got a soft spot for kids. He ain't happy about this at all. I'm guessing he eventually will find who's the parents that boy belongs to, because I've got to imagine if that kid was an orphan, Bruce Wayne would be adopting that kid and being like, you know, Dick's in college, I could use a new Robin.
Great. And I thought you were endangered.
Wrong, Volk. You've caused me great distress, you evil bat. Yes, you have. You've hurt my pretty pets, and you've frightened my beloved children.
Beloved children.
Yes,
The disgust in his voice.
I clothe them discipline them, and I teach them a trade. And now I will teach you something.
Even a guy like that, Batman tries to save him. But unfortunately, he doesn't die yet.
I rather enjoyed it. I told you. They're my pretties. Have a nice swim.
He did just fall into raw sewage, so gross.
Later.
This guy is just the absolute worst. Get him, Batman. Even this guy, Batman drags him out of the way. He doesn't want to see anybody die.
Why? Why?
I do pass sentence. That's for the courts. But this time, I am sorely tempted to do the job myself.
I wouldn't blame you if you did. But Batman is not a murderer. Not unless it's 1939 or he's Michael Keaton. Somebody might point out Ben Affleck, but even then, most of those, I think, were self-defense, so... So hopefully those kids will get returned to their homes, or, you know, if they don't have homes, they'll find some homes for them. Oh. Dang it, I hit the wrong button. Hate it when I do that. And now it's going to go all the way back to this thing. Which I'm just going to resume. Resume. It went all the way back to the beginning. Yeah, I'd meant to hit the pause button and I accidentally hit the home button. It happens. So we'll go ahead and fast forward back to where our ending credits are. But yeah, the police helping all the kids out of the sewers. And you see this whole crowd there, and I gotta kind of wonder if some of them are people that, like, their children had disappeared, being kidnapped by this slime ball, and they hear about these kids being brought out of the sewers, and maybe little Susie's with them, or little Timmy, or whoever. Alright, so not a huge cast list, not a lot of characters here, but Kevin Conroy as Batman, Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. as Batman, Victoria Carroll as Matron, and Michael Pataki was the Sewer King, which recognized his voice instantly. He was a character actor who you would have seen him in a lot of stuff, but the main things I think of that he was in is the episode of Star Trek, The Trouble with Tribbles. He plays one of the Klingons on that one. He's actually the Klingon that picks a fight with Scotty. And, you know, the one that, like, oh, I didn't mean the Enterprise should be hauling garbage. I meant to say the Enterprise should be hauled away as garbage. And then Scotty, that's his berserk button. He winds up getting in a fight with this guy. And also, to anybody who remembers the original live-action Spider-Man television series from the 1970s, he was a regular character in the first season. He played Captain Barbera, so kind of like a Spider-Man's version of Bullock, even before there was a Bullock. So he did a great job playing a horrible character. I don't, and again, I don't mean horrible in terms of like the quality of the character. He was well written, well designed, well animated, but just such a loathsome creature. Like I would if I was in the room with the Joker and Bane and this guy, and I had a gun with 2 bullets, I would shoot him twice. Or, like Dwight Schrute suggests, I might line them up and shoot them all through the throat at the same time. But I think I might just want to shoot that guy twice. I think that would be the most fun. So I'm talking about a fictional character. Don't get all upset with me, YouTube. Anyway, so while that episode did have some subject matter that made me a little squicked out, I did enjoy watching it with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed watching it with me as well. And for some lighter material on our next episode, we're going to have one of my favorite episodes, which is Night of the Ninja. Very cool episode. This is also another villain that was created just for Batman the Animated Series, and he appears in 2 episodes. This is the first of 2, and I think he's a pretty interesting character, and we'll get a little more into that when we talk about the episode. But I really like these 2 episodes and how they explore a little bit of Bruce Wayne's backstory. So you don't want to miss it. So if you don't want to miss it, and I know you don't want to miss it because I just said you don't want to miss it, make sure you like and subscribe and hit the little bell down there, and that'll warn you when I'm about to go live. So I'll probably be doing this tomorrow, maybe tomorrow afternoon, I think. I know that I've got, over the weekend, I've got 2 12-hour shifts coming up. So I will definitely not be doing videos. I think it's or Saturday and Sunday that I have those 12-hour shifts. And I got to get up a little early to go to them. So early for me anyway, because, I work overnight. But yeah, I do look forward to this episode, and I hope you do as well. We will talk to you next time. Bye.